Hello, I'm Claire. This is my channel Clarobobbins, and welcome to a very late this week, very late, very tardy Friday sews. Apologies, I should really be calling it Saturday sews. Yeah, lots of reasons why it's a bit late. You'll find out later in the life section of our Friday sews. Thanks to Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room for creating this hashtag for us to share our makes and what's going on in the sewing room. And what do I have for you today? I have a fabric haul that I ordered ages and ages ago, and it's been arriving in bits and pieces. I've been shopping my stash, a little bit of a sneaky peek at a new make, and my Fabric Wheel of Fate update if you didn't happen to catch it in the week. So yes, come back very soon. I'd love to see you. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. Welcome if you're a new subscriber. Welcome if you're coming back and you view regularly. It's lovely to see you. Everybody's welcome. Let's make a start, shall we? So I'm going to do the fabric haul and not shopping my stash. I'll do that later because that comes in with my new make. I bought some beautiful Stoff jersey fabrics from Beyond the Pink Door, and for various reasons, nothing to do with any delay in orders, but just because I had some pre-ordered things being delivered at the same time. More of that in a future vlog. Yeah, so they've just arrived. I was so excited, especially now I've got my new cover stitch, which I haven't actually used in anger yet. I've been doing, I had woven stuff on the go, so obviously I've had to finish that. But yeah, very excited. Look at my lovely new stuff knits. Oh, I've got two of them. Yeah, this has got a lovely it's got a lovely maidenhair fern leaf on it, ginkgo biloba, which is a prehistoric tree. If you didn't know that, they're very ancient. Used to be really rare in this country. There's a lot more about now. They're quite available. But yeah, beautiful, very distinctive leaf. And I think they're poppies. They might be pansies, but I think could be either. Might be pansies. They're a bit pansy shaped. Probably pansies. Yeah, and then some kind of branches, and I love the size of this print and the rich colour. And Stoff knits are just beautiful, aren't they? Designed in Denmark, printed in Turkey, which I didn't realise until I looked. I think it says on the selvage, I think, that they're printed in Turkey. And this one, now, oh, so tempted to buy enough to make a dress in this, but I'm still in the trialing stage of the Irving dress. Yeah, it's all cut out, ready to sew up, and I just haven't got to it yet. So that's a project for very soon, because again, I'll be able to use my cover stitch. And I've got this beautiful, I think these are poppies, they are, and it's really unusual to get this lovely winter yellow. Now, when I had my colours done, oh gosh, a lifetime ago, quite literally, I'd had them done by House of Colour. Don't even know if they're still going, but House of Colour, and they were very much of the opinion that you could wear any colour. It was just the particular warmth or hue, well, they're all within the same hue, but maybe the shade, whether the colour was warm or cool, as to whether or not the palette suited you. So very cool yellows are in my particular colour palette, and then pretty much most people, jade greens tend to go right across the whole of the spectrum. They seem to suit every skin tone. I think that's quite unusual, but I've got some beautiful This is just absolutely straight out of my colour palette. No compromises. It's a winter, cool winter yellows, and then beautifully warm purples, and then fresh acidy greens, and then the beautiful turquoise and going into royal blues. I mean, you know, if you could have asked for something a little bit different that wasn't just bright pink and bright blue out of my colour palette, this would be it. So I was drawn to it straight away. They do it in a number of different colourways. I know Whitney from Tomcat Stitchery had made a dress in this pattern, but in one with more reds and so on, and perhaps a more traditional palette for a print like this. But I just loved this. And thought I had to make something in it. So I have enough to make a t-shirt or a long sleeve top. It will probably end up being a Cashmerette Concorde, which I'm wearing now. I'm wearing this. This is a Cashmerette Concorde in, it was a Lamazi fabric. Was it last year? I think it was Lamazi, and it's called Lupine Petals, and it's a cotton jersey. These are both cotton jerseys, and they're just so excited to make those up. And the other thing that I had, apart from the I'll come back to that, the top secret one that I can't tell you about yet, but you'll find out on the channel probably in a month or so, are these lovely, now I think this is, I don't know whether you pronounce it cotton pique or cotton piqué. I've always known it's cotton piqué, but I'm never quite sure if it's from the French and it's got an E on the end. I'm never quite sure whether you pronounce it or not. So it's a really nice 100% cotton knit interlock from Pound Fabrics, and I bought these. I bought in a navy and I bought it in a grey. They've been washed, they're ready to go, and these are dark grey, and these are for my husband to make polo shirts. That's right, polo shirt fabric. So I had a lovely, I think it's from Fabworks. I had a lovely designer dead stock cotton piqué with a little silver, tiny silver thread within a navy blue that was a little bit of a richer blue. And I still have it. I was so tempted to buy some more, but he just wanted to play in one. So, yeah, Mr. Bobbins. Yeah, little simple make for Mr. Bobbins. I've still got his dress shirt to make. I think I'm going to do a separate series on that will go over a few weeks, because he needs it for Christmas. That's when our black tie events tend to be, around that time. I really do need to get on and make that, otherwise it'll be Christmas and I won't have done it, and I think it's going to take me quite a few weeks to make it, because I'm going to have to develop my own pattern for the collar and how I'm going to design the shirt. It's going to be a bib front white dress shirt, but it's going to be partly in beautiful Italian cottons, a Marcella for the front bib, and then panels of supplex, white supplex, that will be sewn into a pair of jersey boxer briefs, so that nothing comes undone and he can move, because when he's dancing, his dress shirt at the moment, which is a bit big round his waist, his dress shirt just pulls out everywhere and it drives him nuts. So yeah, so that is in the pipeline as a future sew project. I have a lovely book which is all about sewing shirts. I've got the interfacing, it's washed and ready. I've got the beautiful cottons, they're washed and ready. I've got the buttons. I have everything I need. I need to do some pattern drafting, and there are line drawings in the book. I need to get him to put his dress shirt on, measure the collar and everything, and I need to draft a collar using the line drawings from the book and the collar that he has, and just go for it. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? It goes into the scrap bag. Okay, so what have we been doing this week? Stop waffling, Claire. What have we been doing this week? Well, I did the reveal video for my Fabric Wheel of Fate make, and this is the Fern top by Pattern Scout, and this was the rayon, yarn dyed rayon fabric, which is a lovely fabric, and it's worked really well for this top because there's enough length in it, there's enough weight in it for it to hang really quite nicely, and it's quite a loose flowy top, and it's worked really well with the stripes, so I'm very pleased with that. I'm going to do a full pattern review for this, which should be out next week. I haven't recorded it yet, so hopefully I'll get that done, and it'll be up for you to have a look at. It will be the pattern review will be a pattern review from a busty sewist point of view, because with any top, the fact that I have a 6-inch difference between high bust and full bust makes any top a challenge, and yeah, although I have sewn Pattern Scout patterns before, it does make for quite a challenge, and I'll go into how I had to adapt the pattern, what I liked and didn't like about how I was able to adapt the pattern, and what I'd do if I made it again. I enjoyed making it. It is a lovely pattern, and if you haven't got quite such an extreme difference in sizing, and you can just, I mean, I could have just sized up, couldn't I? But it would have been a bit tent-like, and I wanted a good fit. That's always a challenge for me, is to get a really good fit. So yeah, more about that in the pattern review, but I can certainly recommend this pattern. It's an excellent pattern. I'll just be going into everything about the pattern, how size inclusive it is, how it's drafted, how you make it up, what's easy about it, what's maybe not so easy. That's mostly to do with fitting me. Yeah, what I enjoyed about it, and yeah, what I might change if I do it again. So this week's make, though I had some fabric left, I had some fabric left, and I made the Cashmerette Thorndike, which is the latest release from the Cashmerette Club patterns. It's the July Cashmerette Club release. So if you wanted to try this and you weren't a Cashmerette Club member, you could join for 1 month. I think I think the membership starts at $9 a month. You could join for 1 month, download the pattern, cancel the membership, and it would cost you about the same as a regular pattern. Once we get to the 1st of August, you won't be able to access this pattern unless you are an all access member. So let's have a little look at this. I've really enjoyed making it. I will be popping some stills, probably up here. Can't remember where the space was. I think it's up here, of me wearing this. It has a neck facing, which is stitched down, and I did that in a contrasting colour. It has a lovely little keyhole back. It just pops over your head, and then it has a thread chain loop and button just there, and I did that in silk, so it's nice and strong silk thread. It has a scoop neck. It has French darts, which are very low, and it has a waist facing as well, and it comes in a cropped length or a high hip length, and this is the high hip length that I've done. And if you have a look at the photos of the back of this, I think I need a sway back adjustment. I'm not sure whether I need a sway back adjustment or whether it's the drapiness of the fabric that's just sitting on my bottom because there's no weight to take it down. I love the pattern. I think I got a really good fit. What I don't like about this make is the fabric. I don't think the fabric, I mean, I love the fabric, but I don't think the fabric has worked particularly well for this particular. That was Mr. Bobbins. He's popped out. He's going to get his mum. She comes for tea on a Saturday. So I'll go here. Yes, so where was I? I was telling you about the Thorndike Tank. Now I think this fabric, you only need to look at it and it creases. It has a ridiculous amount of creasing, and it's not quite so obvious in this because there's a little bit more weight to it, and because it's looser it doesn't seem to matter. But with a closer fitting garment, I just don't think there's enough structure in this fabric, because I just, I press it and it looks beautiful, and then by the time I've pressed another bit, the bit I've just pressed is all crumpled again. So I love the design of the colours in the fabric, and it's been really useful to trial the design, and I'm quite pleased with the fit. I think also in this fabric, the bust dart, I think in a linen or a linen mix, I think the dart will be a little bit more malleable. This is a very unforgiving fabric, and because it's stripy and such a bold stripe, it shows every little mark, every ripple in the sewing. Whereas I think if it was an all over print and in a more forgiving fabric, I think it would look a lot better. But I love the shape of it. I particularly like the back. Hopefully you can see from the photographs that it's worked really well. And I'm just going to show you. I decided to shop my stash, and I thought it only doesn't. I made this with leftovers. I've not been able to pattern match it particularly. Mind you, it wouldn't have mattered anyway because of where the dart is. I couldn't pattern match the side seams, and there aren't any other seams in it. So yeah, so that's irrelevant really, whether or not I could pattern match it. But I just had enough fabric left to just make it, and that was that really. But I shopped my stash and I came up with this fabric. Now I bought this fabric from Weaver D in Middlewich when I first came back to sewing, and I went along and I wanted a linen. I didn't realise at the time that it was a linen blend, and I don't know if it's blended with cotton or viscose. It feels a bit light for viscose. Cotton linen mix is a bit lighter than a viscose or rayon linen mix, I think, and so anyway, it'll be one or the other. It's irrelevant. But I loved this colour and pattern. It's got quite a few of my colours in there, and that lovely blue is dark enough to look good on me. And I just bought what was left on the roll. It's only just over 1 metre, I think. Maybe it's 1.5 meters. So it's not really enough to make normally a shirt for me, especially with a long sleeve. A shirt's 2.5 meters for a shirt for me with long sleeves. I can get away with, for a short sleeve shirt, with about 2 meters. I could probably do a rhapsody blouse, sleeveless rhapsody blouse, for just over 1 meter. The Curso top, which is also Cashmerette and also a favourite, that comes in at just over 1 metre, and this one comes in at just over 1 metre. So I'd have enough for either. I might even have enough for both and do a comparison, because they're quite a different shape, but they both fit over the bust really well. So yeah, that's been what I've made this week, and that's shopping my stash. I've got the Friday Pattern Company Ila Jacket cut out in this beautiful green. I'll just pop a picture up there for you. Beautiful green. Well, it's a jade colour. Corduroy. That's what it is. Sorry, senior moment. I'm one of those days today. Oh dear. Here we go. Right, now, what else? Oh yes, Beyond the Pink Dwarf. So my lovely stuff fabrics arrived today, and she has such beauty. Andrea, you have amazing fabrics. I'm sure Andrea doesn't watch my blog, but yeah, along with my package came her latest release of fabrics, and these fabrics are these are exclusive to Beyond the Pink Door, to Andrea's shop, and she's put a little swatch of the designs in with my fabric package, which I think you know, it's a brilliant idea. They're the most beautiful viscoses and just lovely, lovely designs. Great cut, so colourful. Lovely, lovely, colourful fabrics. Aren't those gorgeous? They're all absolutely lovely. And then you can see on the back of the postcard the slightly bigger versions. I'll probably take a photograph of this and pop it up. But yeah, I've really liked receiving them and, you know, feeling what the fabrics are like. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful fabrics. Just lovely. Yeah, so there we go. She has those in stock at the moment. Pop over and have a look at her website. Amazing. Yes, so no Specky Seamstress yet. That is due any minute. I normally get that probably next week. Sometimes it arrives before the end of the month, sometimes just into the beginning of the month, just depending on dates and postage. Yeah, so Ila Jacket is cut out. I still haven't quite decided which cotton I'm going to use, which quilting cotton I'm going to use for the facings and the Hong Kong binding. Well, it doesn't have facings, but you know what I mean, the contrast and the plackets and so on. I'm going to do that in a little pop of colour. I might, if I can get the Curso top and the Thorndike out of this, I might try. Be really useful to compare the two and see how they both perform, because I made the Curso in quite a floaty viscose and it was fine, but it was a floaty viscose with a very abstract, will be the best word for it, with an abstract print, all the same colour, so the darts didn't show too much in that. I think with this being such a bold stripe, it's probably not the right choice of fabric. But yeah, I might have a look and see if I have a quilting cotton that will go nicely with this for the facings, and that will just give me a little bit more fabric to play with for the actual thing. So that's what I've been making. That's what has been happening in the sewing room this week. So on to a little bit of life. I'm not going to put photographs in at the end because this will be quite long enough. You'll have had enough of me by then. It'll be quite long enough as it is. Yes, on Thursday we went to Liverpool with some friends, which is partly why I was late getting my vlog up. And I wasn't very organised because I'd done my Fabric Wheel of Fate vlog, and then because I decided, oh, I could just make a Thorndike top. Oh, oh, I haven't cut it out yet. Yeah, and on, as you do. So yes, we went off to Liverpool to the World Museum for the honeybee exhibition. Well, no, that's not true. It's not a honeybee exhibition. It's just I happen to keep honeybees, so they tend to be at the forefront of my mind. It's the bee exhibition, and it covers honeybees, it covers social bees, it covers solitary bees as well. So and it's absolutely amazing. And the digital artist, Archibald Buttress, I think his name was. Yeah, certainly Buttress. I think Archibald Buttress. Buttress. Oh, that's a mouthful. Has created this amazing digital exhibition using video, photography, music. He's composed a background sound made up of orchestrated music with some of the noises that bees make, and interpreted it into something that as humans we can understand a little more. There's one particular bit, I mean, every day's a school day, and I have to say, even though I've been keeping bees for 9 years, and I do a lot of study, so I'm doing a lot of in-depth study about beekeeping, I still learned a fact I didn't know about, so that was really interesting. But the experience was amazing. There's one bit where you were surrounded by 3 big screens that were in a half hexagonal formation, and projected onto these screens were colours that the bees see in the ultraviolet spectrum. So flowers don't look like the flowers we see with visible light. They look, you see the flower shape in quite a pale colour, and then you see dark directing lines down to the nectar source, and then the bright vivid glow of the pollen anther, and it's just amazing. And this was, it was all on the scale that it would be if you were a bee. So these flowers were enormous, just like they would be in comparison to yourself if you were a bee. And it takes you, it's quite a long series of video, probably 7 or 8 minutes, and then it repeated. Music in the background and the noise of humming and so on, the noise of bees. And it wasn't specific as to which type of bee you could be. You could have been any type of bee. So you're in a kind of wildflower meadow environment with the odd grass, and you were flying through at a pace that a bee would negotiate, and coming down into flowers and then around and going, encountering the next flower. That was just incredible, because you could see what the bee would be seeing. Yeah, amazing, mind-blowingly fabulous experience. And what else? There was another area, if you've watched me before, you'll know that Mr. Bobbins and I dance ballroom and Latin, and there's one area where there was a beam of light coming down in the centre of a room, and the light and the sensors in the room picked up your movement, and then it was projected onto the screens around in the room, onto the walls. But it was projected in such a way that it was what a bee would see with their compound eyes, which is a kind of matrix. It looks very matrix-like. So we were dancing, just very simple, a few steps. And you could see what the bee would see if we were dancing for the bee. It was projected onto the screen. Yeah, quite fascinating. Lots of things you could touch, lots of interactive things, a bee sculpture, and the head and thorax and the abdomen of the bee. When you had your hands on them, you could feel the different vibrations that you would get from the bee. And then along with that were experiences where you could look into that would give you the kind of view a bee would get. And there's this beautiful honeycomb structure. Oh, I could go on. I'm not going to bore you. I didn't take any photographs. It wasn't really that kind of experience. You had to be in it. It wouldn't have looked anything I had taken it out, because it was what you were hearing, what you were feeling, rather than just a photographic thing. And it was very much 3-dimensional. Yeah, fascinating. Loved it. So we did that. We went, some friends picked us up. Liverpool is about an hour away from where we are. They'd already booked car parking, so we went straight to the car park. Then we went to the Hawksmoor restaurant, which is something between a gastropub and fine dining. It kind of fills the niche in between those two. So we had a fabulous meal. I had fresh oysters. Oh, it was gorgeous. And it's they do a lot of steaks, and yeah, I had a lovely meal. I had mostly vegetarian apart from the oysters. But yeah, so that was a bit of a treat, and went to watch the exhibition, and then got home about 6:30. So that was a full day. And then what else has been going on this week? It's been Oh, tomorrow, yes, tomorrow we have our Cheshire Sewing Social Day that Sandra Stitched, my lovely friend Sandra Stitched, and I have been running. This is our third one. So yeah, we're looking forward to that. We've got lots of lovely ladies coming along. Some are coming for the first time, some have been before. We have a very nice light lunch provided. It's a really great day. So if you're in the Cheshire area and you're interested in coming along, if you go to the Facebook Cheshire Sewing Social page, you can join that group and get access to signing up for one of our days. So yeah, it tends to be the last Sunday of the month at the moment, and we've got them booked through till November. So do have a look at that if you're interested. Yeah, that's about it for me for today. I'm looking forward to doing a bit of knit sewing, and I'm looking forward to trying out the Curso and the Thorndike in that lovely linen blend. And yeah, I hope you've got some nice things on your sewing table. So what are you going to be doing this week, this weekend? Anything nice, anything different? Let me know in the comments below, and let me know what you think of my makes and my fabrics, and whether or not you think the linen will be a good choice for the Thorndike. I'd love to hear from you. Have a great rest of your day, rest of your weekend, and I hope to see you back again next week. It's been lovely to talk to you. Bye for now.